under our administration, we have the greatest economy in the history of the world. We have the greatest...
You can easily return to the past. The problem is, no one is there anymore.
We must be against the endless wars, the pointless wars, the regime change wars, the countless foreign wars. This is how we save America.
I only have one question. Why do you want to put an axe wound in between your son's legs?
A lot of people are asking, can Christians celebrate Halloween? Is it satanic? A pagan holiday? It's not. It's actually a hijacked Catholic holy day.
Scare you, I guess, if you're not Catholic, but I'm thinking it's like you realize that when it's only us left, we're all going to be happy with the Christian nation.
The conservative movement is probably the last hope for America. Let's face it, our beautiful nation has been put through the ringer recently, and feels like the foundations of our nation and our identity have been completely uprooted and replaced by the tenets of liberal progressivism. The conservative movement, if we want to win, we need to offer something other than this sort of libertarian, hands-off approach within the movement that's kind of infecting us. These undermine the ability for the conservative movement to advance itself and revive the American soul, to bring order. We have to protect our families and our loved ones from the chaos that's coming all around us. Don't lecture me, libertarians. I see through the lies of the non-aggression principle. I do not fear the state as you do. I will bring Jesus, family values, justice, and security to my new America.
Religion, God, our culture, our history, they want to wipe everything out and form this new, world order built off of nothing, built off of sand, of dust, and that is their new world order that they're seeking to achieve by any means necessary. And Vince touched on it. They are aggressive in that pursuit. They are, ruthless in that pursuit. They will use any tools available to them to effectuate the change that they want, to destroy anyone in their path. But we need a reaction. We need a rollback. We need to return to a time in our past, maybe not in the technology of the past, but we need to return to the values, to the principles, to the beliefs that once made this country great and can make it great again.
You meet them, you get up close, and you go, these people aren't that special. They're not that smart. They're not that impressive, right? They're just like us, except they're fearful, okay? People are trying to destabilize the nuclear family and the idea of the nuclear family, because that is how they take a massive crack in the armor to what is America and American values, okay? You destabilize the nuclear family first, you remove God, you remove the sense of worth and value and striving for something. You remove that, and then you can control the population.
Because the moment you speak up, the moment you're an outlier, the moment that you don't take the party position, what happens? You're on the outside looking in. They demonize you. They say, in fact, you're an enemy. What do you mean I'm an enemy? I'm one of you. No, you're an enemy.
We have a chance. We'll see electoral losses, we'll see losses here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, we are fighting a war, and we have to look at it as like a war. In wars, you win battles, you have tactical defeats, but what matters is at the grand scale, are we moving in the right direction?
You guys want to start off with some energy tonight?
Welcome to the free state of Florida! Here in the great state of Florida, the future of the Republican Party is not Jeb Bush, it's nationalist populism. We are done with neocons in the Republican Party. Dan Crenshaw, you suck! The single most important policy decision the Republicans make is deporting Dan Crenshaw from the United States of America. Dan, you are truly Eye Patch McCain!
If we want to win, if we want actual victory in the culture, if we want to restore a conservative America, we don't need more people moving to the sticks of any red state. What we need is to take back the real centers of power in the country. We need to take the cities.
And by the way, all the people who are mistaking me for Sabatini out there, ridiculous. And I guess to be a populist, nationalist, Republican, you have to also be Italian and like 5'9". So yeah, that's all right.
I think assimilation is not just a great thing, it's a necessary thing. No society can hold together where people have nothing in common, they don't speak the same language, they don't practice the same things. And you may look at something like just food habits or what you eat and think that's fairly frivolous, but the truth of the matter is that on a broader level, when we're talking about more big picture things, differences in race, culture, religion, all these things, people have fought wars, violent wars, killed each other over these things for thousands of years. If America is to hold together, assimilation, not just good or bad, necessary. In 2020, they quite literally bent the knee. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, the entire Democrat, basically, caucus in Congress, literally bent the knee to George Floyd and to Black Lives Matter. They quite literally did that.
And that was a bad thing?
I think it was a stupid thing.
Why?
I think it was just ridiculous pandering to a terrorist movement.
We finally live in a post-Roe America, and the Moloch worshippers are pissed. We are not the product of the nation that built Donald Trump. We are the reaction to the product of the plunder he came to stop. We are the result of a country that does not care for its people. We are the result of a country that teaches its children that they are privileged, that they are unimportant, that they are racist, sexist bigots. We are the result of a country who has forgotten to honor and love God. And yes, we are angry that this was done to us before we were even old enough to stop it. We need a great movement in this nation.
It is interesting how any identity, like we talked about religion, that you have that would separate you from the state, whether it's a religious identity, a cultural identity, national identity, anything like that, has been dissuaded and basically erased. You're not allowed to have that. And so when you're looking for an identity now in this country, you have like the state approved identities. You can be like gay, for example. And think about like, since the beginning of time, humans have made flags to define themselves. And now we have the pride flag, and then we have all the other flags like that. That is just so telling to where young people are going nowadays, to where they want to feel like they can be proud of their identity, be proud of something. And so they have to wave the pride flag, which now, as I'm sure we'll get into on the national stage, is even more representative of American values and American power than the actual American flag.
The conservative movement is going to need to offer authority. That's the way it goes. That's why I'm not on board with this sort of niche faction of conservatives who have stopped backing the blue. These people who are anti-back the blue now. When did that happen? We need police, guys. We need police. We need to use the state to bring order to this nation, frankly. That's just the way it is. People want that. This is what the people want.
There is simply no money and power for these people in the promotion of responsibility at a personal and community level. But I personally intend to live in this country and raise a family here, so I have a vested interest.
Good.